Great time to blow your nose just as I'm starting the show. It's all right. I got to give everybody a little bit of time to get in. This is live, so if you're watching the archive version, this first little part's going to go slow. And we're going to pick it up from there. So I'm not going to give you a timestamp. You guys got to watch. I'm evil that way. All right. Hopefully people are joining very soon. I'm enjoying a little bit of adult beverage this evening, but we have some some stuff to announce this week. And I'm gonna cover that all, and I'm gonna start a semi-monthly, twice a month, we'll say, vlog to give you guys an update on how the channel's going. We've been a little slow of late because I've been adapting to the new career, and kind of need to get back to. We're getting back to form, as it were. So I'm here to kind of explain how we're going to slowly get the channel back to where it was, and maybe even get a little beyond it, to say the least. Because, as it would seem, this is going to be a bit of a rough year for myself in competitive plays. That's for sure. My outlook for Rock Worlds is not looking good. I'm going to try to book time off possibly this week, and then try to get the money together is the other challenging, scary part that we have to try to figure out. So I think I've mumbled on a little bit to get things started. We got a few viewers in the show. Right. So now you guys, we have some viewers. We have some live action, people to hear what we're saying. And hopefully if you're watching in the man, my camera is like all out of whack. It's not been on my computer for like a week. So what we want to first announce, and this is the good news part, is that we're back on track for filming. If you are a patron, you actually already have our first game in the new rules. In fact, that went up today. So the rest, if the non-patrons will be receiving that, we're going to try to get that out tomorrow morning before we go to our pre-release in the morning. So that's great news. Is first game in our series of videos that we're doing with the new rules. And for the foreseeable future, our games on camera are going to be with the new rules. As well, 100% of the teams will be built by Amber now, for a number of reasons, one of which is in the interest of fairness and interest for the viewer. You know, if Amber is building both teams, she has a mindset on how to build. She doesn't have to, and I actually insist that she doesn't think about me when she's building a team. I just kind of want to come home, sit down, play the game with whatever figures are in front of me and figure it out from there. I think that's going to be a little bit more fun for us, a little bit more fun for you guys to watch. So that said, if you are a patron right now, you do have access to the first video that we've done in the new rules. We are still kind of stumbling on some, so bear with us as we get into it. And when you get to the second video, there's going to be a great long-running joke that was formed from the first episode that I'm sure the comment section is going to love mentioning for sure. We made a bit of a rules flub, and boy, is it going to be a wacky one, to say the least. So we're excited to get you guys that on Saturday. Metal Lab will still continue to be on Sundays. Chances are, if there's a wrestling event on that day, I'm going to just glare at Amber every time she coughs. I'm going to muffle her with a pillow for you guys so you don't get that coughing noise in the background. So Metal Lab will continue as always on Sundays, although expect me and Tom to possibly be absent during days of wrestling events. It would appear that my renewed love of the WWE is distracting me on Sundays every so often. But one of the reasons we moved it to Sunday was so that I had a better chance of showing up on the show. There are some weekends I do have to work. The video game industry is very demanding, and it's not so much demanding, they're demanding me to be there, but it's demanding on me that I got to get the work done, right? So with that said, the Sunday move is going well, we think. Having it a little earlier in the day works. It also gives us leeway if I happen to be running a little late or somebody has to start a little late. So you will see the start time fluctuate somewhere between 8 o'clock and 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. for the foreseeable future. It's all just based on whatever kind of wackiness can occur on a Sunday, and Sunday is a wacky day. So that's kind of the. But that said, Metafix is filming regularly now, so I'm sure you guys have already seen that I've gotten episodes back on a regular basis, and I'm starting to film multiple episodes at a time again, which puts a bunch in the can. It gives us a couple weeks of episodes for you guys. It's one of those things, one of those tricks to building something like a YouTube channel that isn't necessarily 100% live. I mean, we're getting this live, but we don't do a lot of live content. We do a lot of edited content, and that means we do have the option to do a bunch ahead of time and then hold on to them and make them later. And then sometimes, of course, information gets dated or changed because this game is so liquid in the way that it's been run lately. The rules are very, very unstable at times. So that's why you haven't seen a lot of Dial It Up, especially with the new rules coming out in August. Now, Amber is planning is considering another episode in... Amber's got 2 episodes around the corner, so we can look forward to that. But I'm sure by the time the new rules come out, we're going to get back to a weekly schedule. Amber is giving me the nod. Some of these things I'm kind of making up on the spot, so bear with us. So that's kind of exciting news on that end. So the channel is coming back. We're making our way back, and we're putting the work in and killing the sleep in order to do so. A little drinky poo there. That said, of course, because we're managing to get the work done, I have reopened up communications with the guys at Big Bully Games because I have managed my schedule a little better lately. So one of the first things that we've actually done, and this is going to be a slow increase back into a more lively Patreon, is we've brought back the $10 patron level, where at $10, you'll get an action token a month from us, which we will ship every 2 months. So if you are part of that, every 2 months we'll ship 2 action tokens if you're there for 2 months. Or, if you, let's say we start in, it's going to be starting for June patrons. So if you're a member of our Patreon for June, at $10 or more, you will get an action token sent to you, and we're going to send it in August. Okay, so what'll happen is the June patrons, they get charged at the end of June, and then July patrons get charged at the end of July. So that's kind of how it works. It's not the 1st of June patrons, it's the end of June patrons and the end of July. So beginning of August, we expect to send our June and July tokens out, and we hope to keep that alive again indefinitely, for sure. It gives you guys a little bit extra. It gives you that little piece that I've supported Married with Clix. As well, you get what you get at the $5 level, where you get first access to the videos ahead of anybody else, and then you also get access to what's at the $1 level, which is access to the patron hangout, which we do semi-regularly. So we're bringing life back into the Patreon because, if we're going to bring life back in the channel, we're going to need a little support on that end. And if you have any, we'll field questions later, but if you have questions about how to support us, I'm probably going to answer that somewhere towards the end of the episode as well, because not everybody has the financial means or ability to support us through Patreon. So beyond that, on a more personal note, unfortunately, my competitive edge is. Not my competitive edge, but my competitive availability has been vastly hurt. I love my job. That's point number one, is what's kind of keeping me aside. So I'm going to do that indefinitely. But as well, scheduling at work is getting really, really, really tight as we are hitting a major deadline. And just I started at a weird place, and it's a busy place. So unfortunately, I'm literally hitting the ground running. And so hopefully next year things calm down a little for me to get back into the flow of competitive play. So I went from probably one of my best years last year to a non-existent year this year. And I mean, even when I have been showing up at competitive tournaments, I haven't put that much effort into it, especially not for practice, which of course we preach practice makes your team better, as on the Metafix. And unfortunately, that's why my teams are terrible lately, is I'm not getting the practice I need. So Apologize. Beyond that, though, we're, like I said, we're going to try to do this as well. Keep you guys informed as to what we're working on for the channel. And as well, this opens up a forum of conversation because we do the. I'm planning to do this live, and of course, you're going to get access to it in an archive form if you choose not to watch it live, which is okay. Not everybody's got the same schedule. That's one of the wonders of the internet now, is everything is archived. Even that silly comment that you made, I know who you are. And I kind of want to open up the forum to suggestions at times too. We kind of want to know a little bit more about what you guys want to know. But when you do it, I can't stress this. If we get a lot of suggestions, suggest it. Try to be clear about what you're suggesting. I don't want to take away from everybody, but sometimes what you're suggesting might be, not clear. And we try not to go in specifics. So like, for instance, if you're talking about an episode for Metafix and you want to know how to beat a specific figure, well, I'm not going to tell you how to beat a specific figure. I'm going to tell you what a specific figure does and what his weaknesses might be. But I'm not going to tell you, or I'm not going to ever give you the pure answer, because that then defeats the point of my show. I've always kind of looked at it like a classroom lecture. It's like, hey, here's how you think about it, like philosophy almost. Without giving you an exam or whatnot to kind of test your knowledge. The exam is the tournament. Work on it, do what you can, and go from there. Beyond that, I've looked at one specific project a number of times, and every time I think I'm going to get it started, I get distracted or I lose content and we can't do it. And I've desperately wanted to get a documentary together about, us as players in our area, us with the Metal Lab, we travel to tournaments every so often, or even behind the scenes stuff, and just kind of give everybody a look into things. It's a bit of an undertaking, of course, but it's something I think would make for a great project for the channel, specifically for Amber, because she does have a great interest in film, and I would like her to have like a big project that she could go into with a portfolio kind of thing. But a part of that is, of course, get better at filming, Jason, and get better at keeping track of content. The cloud is a wonderful place, but I can't, you can't always access it through those mobile plans. They're a little bit rough at times, to say the least. But yeah, so this is the main point that I've wanted to get through on this episode is we're back to work on the channel. We're doing our best to get you guys content. I am doing my best to get out to whatever I can. It is difficult, and we'll do what we can to get to tournaments in our area. Glare at Amber again. To keep things alive. So yeah, you're not going to get very many stories from tournaments for me, unfortunately. It's a shame, but I will continue to love the game. I will continue to play the game when I can. And I'll try my best to get out to those highest of level competitive tournaments. That said, I do want to take some time to open it up to questions. If you're watching in the chat, get your questions in the chat. I want to see, or even your suggestions. I will field your suggestions now and explain why we can or can't do that, or whether or not that's the thing we were working on. A lot of times too, guys, if you make a suggestion, sometime we've already done it. It might need an update, and we'll take note of it. I'm in front of a computer. I mean, if only there was some kind of application that was like a notepad of some sorts to kind of write these things down. So, like I said, we're working our best to get the content to you guys, and we are back to getting you at least Metafix, Metal Lab, and games at a semi-regular basis. So keep your eyes open for that, especially tomorrow morning when we get our first game in the new rules. We get to see a couple new powers in action, and we're really looking forward to that. So I'm kind of keeping things talking. If you guys have any questions or comments or suggestions or anything like that, want to hear them, open it up to you guys. I don't want to. It's already been a pretty quick video. I didn't have a lot going in. I mean, these videos are not going to be particularly long when we make them. So, oh, here we go. I got one on the Facebook. I missed that. Thomas Casterin wants to know, what can Pedro and I do to help? Twitch channel is yours after all. And I want to take a minute to kind of get some more light on that that Twitch channel. That is twitch.tv/marriedwithclix. It is ours, but we're not necessarily in charge of it. I've kind of had Thomas and Pedro in charge of it as a community project for HeroClix, for HeroClix players who want to make video content but don't necessarily have the courage to just go. Because it does take a lot of courage to just go, and a lot of times you get a little discouraged on yourself when you put out a video and it's got like 10 views, and it's like, oh, what am I doing wrong? So, we give you that platform. You give you a little bit of attention off the top. And, I mean, if Amber or I get a chance to catch it, we'll give you notes. And if Tom and Pedro do manage to get it up on the YouTube, we'll and they have a specific video that they want us to draw our attention to, we'll go to that. But one of the things I want to definitely stress as far as HeroClix content is concerned is the more we have, the more players can look at this stuff, the more players we get for the game. More players we get for the game, the more product gets sold. The more product gets sold, the longer the game can last, and the more WizKids can do, and possibly hire some more people, probably clean up some of the things that they've stumbled on, but at the same time continue to make a great and even better product. Because that's what we all want out of this. We're all big fans of the game. We don't want the game to go anywhere. So the more life we get into the game, the more attention we get to the game, the better. And the more content and opinions we get, the more people converse. So if two people hear, two other people talking about the game, those two people start getting interested, maybe hear from those people, go on from there, right? It's that ever expanding. He tells two friends, then they tell two friends, and then they tell two friends, and then we got a worldwide phenomenon again. It's a game that's been going for a long time, and players come and go, and that's just the nature of any game. But with the new rules around the corner, I would absolutely love to see a massive influx of players. And with that massive influx of players, I want them to have content to go to in all directions. I want them to go everywhere. If they come to us, that's great. Sorry, I'm stumbling on my own things. They come to us, that's great. They go to other people, that's great too. And we just, a lot of channels are inspired by us. We were inspired by other people. Dark Logos and Dial H for HeroClix and Ryan Morgan are responsible for us, along with the guys over at Rooster Teeth, because I think they're flipping hilarious. So, we're working on things, and we're really hoping that community channel, the twitch.tv/marriedwithclix community channel, does what we want it to do. Now, the best way to get access to it, ask how to get your content on it. You want to talk to Thomas Casterin or Pedro Roca on the Married with Clix community Facebook page? Yeah, Married with Clix community Facebook page. I'll try to remember to put a link in the dump. I'll probably forget. That place we have our fan page on Facebook where we make our announcements. That's cool. People can message us on that every so often. That's also cool. But the community page is where you get a chance to talk to other Married with Clix fans, as well as kind of get access to Thomas and Pedro for that community Twitch stream. So take a look to that if you can. And now some things are starting to come up in the chat, so I'm going to start going through that as I ramble, as I do. So give me a second to just wet my whistle while I read these, and we'll get going on that. I blame my roles, who is also Thomas, by the way, guys. You know the one I'm talking about. Are we ever going to start seeing Married with Kids and Clix? Well, guess what? Our daughter has now got a little bit of the YouTube bug. She watches a lot of YouTube herself and really enjoys a lot of kid-focused content, etc. And it's really getting her into the idea of being on YouTube, as well we got a brand new set of rules coming for HeroClix that are supposed to be super easy to learn. So we challenged her daughter to, because we've had some behavior things to discuss with her. It's family issues, but some things in school that she has to take care of. If she can take care of those, come August when we have the new rules, we're going to start teaching our daughter how to play HeroClix with the full version of the new rules. We're not going to teach her now with the new rules, because what we have is a couple changes to the rules that we know now. While those might be all they're changing about the rules, I want the rules as a whole to be able to explain to her. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make video content with us teaching young Miss Alexis how to play HeroClix. And hopefully it's a successful experiment. Hopefully she really gets to enjoy playing the game. And she's such a ham for the camera that we're really excited to see if this experiment works. Now, Alexis, our daughter, is below the suggested age of playing the game of HeroClix. So you might see us start to take different approaches at first, or eventually. We might try to teach her all of it all at once. And then if that's not quite getting there, we'll start showing piecemeal, because this is a game that is intended for 14 plus. They don't want to dumb it down too much. So we want to get it to that level that she can understand it and learn the game. Ed taught Isaac how to play HeroClix at a very young age. He taught him in sections, very notable as well, because young Isaac became the Rock World Cup champion, not this past one, but the one before that, the year after his father won. So that's a good pair of family members playing HeroClix, and that's a very young man who's become really good at the game of HeroClix. And he had a great father teaching him, and obviously a lot of patience to learn the game. And I commend them, and I kind of want to follow in their footsteps, but I've lost some time because our daughter hasn't had the patience for the game as it stands. So yeah, we are planning Married with Kids with Clix as kind of an idea. We're not sure what we're going to name it. We'll let Alexis name it or something like that. We'll see. But yes, that is an idea in the future coming this summer, to say the least. All right. Next up, Brandon Nelson wants to know, in the future, could you guys discuss what teams people might see after rotation and the rules change? Also, just a general question, out of the chases and when Avengers Defenders War, which ones are meta? As far as the chases are concerned, I believe there's 2 Captain Americas in the chase slot. One is Samantha Wilson, and one is the Hydra Captain America. Both are really good, in my opinion. The Captain America at 75 points with 3 team abilities, all really good combination of things, plus really solid powers. Post-rotation could see a lot of love. As well, the Samantha Wilson being able to take an action after Taxi. You want to find out why we took that rule away from the game? You'll find out. Oh, boy, will you ever. Yeah, those are the 2 that stood out to me as far as in the meta. Ironheart as well. Ironheart's really good. For 25 points, she'll generally, on average, take significantly more damage than a 25-point figure deserves to take. There is not a single click without a support power that you call useless. Because everybody loves Outwit. Everybody loves Perplex. Everybody loves Prop. Outwit is about to become 1,000 times better. Prop's going to get about 50% worse. And Perplex is just going to stay awesome. So Ironheart, look to her. She's going to be in there, even if you just have 25 points to fill, honestly. So overall, I really like the set, though. I'm more a big fan of the shifting focus, though, because that's going to be the new sideline tactics, guys. That's going to be the new stuff. I'm the man talking about shifting focus at every turn. Sit down, ask me about shifting focus. Let me tell you a story. I think it's a really great mechanic, and I think a lot of players should learn how to use it. For one, it's the future of the sideline. With resources kind of going the way they are, equipment's going to be on board. So sideline is going to be the shifting focus is what's going to be on the sideline. Shifting between characters, using the right character at the right time is going to be an important thing to learn. Especially every time you've played a game of HeroClix, like, man, I wish this high guy had better a lot of times the shifting focus really fills in that. I wish he had better defense. Oh, well, I got this version. It's better defense. Oh, I wish he did more damage. Well, I could do this with this one. I wish he had more range. Well, this one has more range than the other two, so let's use that one. That's really kind of the beauty of the shifting focus. And I will scream from the rooftops until I'm deaf or until I can't speak anymore about it. But as far as teams after rotation, that is the hardest thing to predict. The last episode of Metafix I did was on rotation. But one of those things you have to understand is what's going to happen after rotation. Well, I mean, we have Wonder Woman just around the corner. And trying to say this team is going to be great after the rotation becomes dated within a week. And that's why I write Metafix like I do. It's more thoughtful for me to portray the information on what we're going to lose as opposed to what we're going to see. Because what we're going to see at first is everything. Because after rotation, the metagame is in chaos. What I can guarantee you will see still, Jakeem Faust. That's just not going to stop. You suffer. But it is going to lose Pandora's Box as its kind of crutch to keep its defenses high. So you might see other things beyond that. But anyway, as far as an episode is concerned, I talked about a lot about what we're losing. Well, and I think I talked a little bit about Jakeem and Faust in the episode. So if you watch the most recent Metafix, I think I covered it. I might go back at rotation or after Worlds even to discuss the teams that do well. Sorry, because Worlds is going to be the first major tournament with the rotation. Or sorry, with the new rotation, outside of a couple of Rock Super Qualifiers. Now, those Rock Super Qualifiers are probably going to be the best place to gauge the meta. So going into Worlds, I will discuss, hey, this is doing well in Rock Super Qualifiers. Maybe it's something to pay attention to before Worlds. And then after Worlds, I'm probably going to do an episode where it's like, hey, this is a team that's winning. This is a team you might have to think about. I'm never going to say this is the team to play. I will say this is the team that is winning. But yeah, so yeah, expect that kind of stuff just before and after Worlds, post-rotation, once we get an idea of what the landscape looks like. Because right now the landscape is got a big crater in it, and sitting in that crater is Nick Fury, Jakeem Thunder, and Felix Faust laughing at the explosion. All right. Oh, and Ryan Nelson does also go on to say that he enjoys the casual games that we post. Can we see more of that in the future? Yeah, I think I started this vlog saying I'm not building teams anymore. Yeah, I expect the games to be significantly more casual. I mean, we've already stopped using resources as a thing on the camera. It's been a little while since we've used them. And for the most part, Amber does try to build theme teams. Sometimes we can't pull it off. But a lot of the times it's just, especially with the upcoming episodes just based around the new rules, we're going to just make sure that at least one or two powers that are making major changes is on each team so that, we get a good idea of what the landscape of those powers is going to look like. So that's kind of a thing we've been working on for a while. And we're going to get those games back on a regular schedule for sure. Thomas Custurian does have a joke question where he says, what team should I play? How many points? Take that many points, take a bunch of figures, add them up to those points, and play that. There, I gave you a joke answer to your joke question. All right, guys, get those questions in unless you want me to shut up and be done with my day. Because it doesn't look like the Facebook. I put the Facebook post for this up very late, very close to it. I was actually just getting out of the liquor store with my adult beverages for the weekend, and I posted that on the way here. And I got here, and I had time to tell my daughter to brush her teeth and get dressed, and then take her to bed. So that was my night so far. All right. But it looks like we're done with questions for today. It's okay. These are short vlogs that we're just going to go over, what's up in the channel and everything like that. It doesn't need to go on for 2 hours, right? So thank you guys for joining us. Lots of good work being done on the channel. and we're getting back to it. So we hope that you guys do enjoy the videos from here. Please do take a look at the our Patreon if you're interested. Oh, that was another thing I was going to ramble on about, and then Ryan Nelson also added a question. What do you think is the best type of teams to run for the upcoming WKOs? It's a loaded question. The next set of WKOs are sealed. So what team are you going to run? The best of what you pull, man. That's your best options. If you are looking to support the channel in any way, shape, or form that you can, there are a number of ways you can do it. The first, of course, is Patreon. That is our direct support. Indirectly, go to Majestics, subscribe to the $3 a month access to the vault of great minds of HeroClix. That is something I got to get back to work on as well. We're slow rolling our way back into greatness. So yes, we're working on that. Outside of that, just show up on YouTube, watch the videos. I could sit here and expect you, and be like, hey, just turn off ad blocker. There is a way to limit, which sites do get blocked. I myself personally specifically take YouTube and Twitch and HC Realms, and I make ad block allow their ads because those are channels I believe deserve my support. So that is an option in a lot of ad blockers where you can say, hey, yeah, let these things get the ads because those micro pennies add up after a while, right? And lucky for us, we're not being hit as hard as a lot of YouTubers out there by the ad problems in the game, or in the channel. So we're lucky that way. But those are the ways to best support us. So go through the affiliates, go through, just watch the videos. That gets us a lot enough. Heck, if you have a YouTube Red account and you watch us, we love you the most because portions go to that. I've checked. There are some of our users are YouTube Red members, so I appreciate the support we get from those YouTube Red members a lot because they add up the fastest, to be brutally honest. So yeah, those are direct ways to support us. Hey KJ, how's it going? But yeah, so that's been our update. Last call for questions before I duck out. But otherwise, we're really looking forward to being back on track for content. And we hope to see you guys on Sunday night for the Metal Lab. And, again, if you're not a patron, tune in tomorrow morning. And we will have that episode up for you guys. Ryan Nelson, I don't know if you heard me, but the WKOs are going to be sealed next. So you're not going to see Super Rare Iceman. He's an X-Men figure. You're going to probably be seeing Deadpool and X-Force, and maybe Avengers Defenders War. I doubt that though. Yeah, sealed. So keep a look for those sets. Anyway, everybody. Okay, KJ. I'll answer your question. Top 5 support figures for this year Worlds. Support figure. Well, okay. Jean Grey is an obvious one. Jean Grey is good. You know what? Don't discount that 30-point Black Panther, man. He's something. He's not great, but he's something. There's not as much ignore hindering for line of fire as there used to be. And Nick Fury is more of a stationary target, too. So, and given that Worlds are still playing on the old rules, you can outwit his hindering terrain modifier thing ahead of time. Jakeem Thunder, support figures. Oh my gosh, I got way off track. Betty Brant, expect to see her. 15-point perplexer, right? And people love perplex. Who is a really low point? Oh, you know what? I'd see probability control balanced between Dupe and Domino. I'm going to put them on the same slot, so they're kind of in the same realm. Dupe is tiny and invincible, really hard to take down. So the difference between the two, and this is why Dupe is 10 points more, is that 3 damage doesn't kill Dupe. 3 damage does kill Domino. As well, Dupe can possibly add a ton of damage if you happen to pull off that hammers of Mjolnir, raining Mjolnirs. As well, though, and I mentioned this, Dupe has way more options for ID cards than Domino does. So, keep an eye open for that. I do have to dig a little deeper into Avengers Defenders World before. Like, we have stuff. We got our stuff early, and I haven't had time to just accept it. But the 50-point Doctor Strange shifting focus, there's something there in support. He adds 18 defense to your team. He adds a carrier, and he adds a third, fourth string attacker. Yeah, keep an eye on that one too. So what was that? That was, I said, Jean Grey is the obvious answer. Though I don't think Jean Grey is going to be as safe a bet as she used to be. Do keep an eye out for Tom's old Jean Grey swing out with Mary Marvel, nuke something that was called in, pull back to Mary Marvel combo. Because that could be something. But Jean Grey might be seen, might not be seen. It will be Alpha Strikes using Jean Grey. And I said Dupe Domino on the same level. There is a Betty Brant, Cheap Perplex, Black Panther, the 30-point shifting focus, and the 50-point shifting focus Doctor Strange, I think, are the best in the support category. But yeah, that's the end of the vlog. Hope you guys enjoy what we have coming ahead. And hope to see you guys in a couple of weeks when I do this again to give you another further update. Next, we'll be a little bit more focused on the content that we're planning and the work that we're planning on doing as far as, content is concerned. Mostly, this is going to be a content show, so expect that. Anyway, guys, have a good night. Thank you guys for your questions. Thank you guys for watching. And if you're watching in the archive, thank you as well for watching. Have a good night.